I graduated more than 10 years ago, so the scene was very, very different from what it is today. AI was just getting off the ground. More than AI, it was technical in terms of like machine learning and algorithms. It was more used by large organizations like, say, recommendation engines and things like that. I started getting exposed to the early days of AI building computer algorithms for like computer games. That computer player would actually imitate the behavior of a real user. So yeah, that got me interested, and that was like the very first few inspirations that got me into AI. Post that, I got involved into a lot of AI communities and like try to understand like what impact it can have. We were mostly doing, say, basic algo plus some sort of assisted learning sort of thing, say around 5 years back. That's where it all started, and that's where the initial initiatives that came from me or geekians as a whole, I would say. I think everybody got into it after 3.5, like GPT 3.5. Even it got mainstream. Way before that, we were like struggling to do simple coding stuff, like usually very time consuming for a developer. And we fed as a prompt into, I think, GPT 3.5 or a little before that, something that would take like 4 to 6 hours for a developers. The answer was right there. That was the point when we got really excited. Probably what used to take like years to develop, we can do it in months or maybe weeks. And that was the tipping point when we got into like, okay, let's do this full time, and like let's use it as much as we can. Wherever we can reduce the human efforts, we are using AI for every role at Geeky Ants. If you look at, say, engineering, we are using Cursor, Windsurf, and even for design, we are using Figma AI. Overall, we are rethinking even not just how it can be a companion or assistant, but rather how it also changes the interfaces of the apps that we are building. Something that used to take, let's say, like 6 steps, can we reduce that to 2 steps with the use of AI and make the user like solve their problems in a much easier way. Different ball game. It's a full change of like users behavior and how the creators are using it. At every step of, say, software development, we are using AI. We are building a design and code tool, more like a no code tool. It's called BuilderX, which is a one stop platform for designers and developers that can be used to build mobile apps or web apps all from one. So you don't need to like jump between design tools or code tools. It's AI assisted, so you can actually ask for it and it actually builds things. It's similar to the famous tools these days, like, say, Bolt or Replit or maybe even Lovable.dev. It's changing so fast, and it has changed so much from where we started. So we are rethinking how we can adapt to the new experience that can be optimized for the consumers as well. As I said, that it was more of a computer player in video games or computer games. Today, we are using AI as assistants for maybe uh, autonomous roles, like the rise of agents, for example. Mark Zuckerberg said the current AI is like doing a decent job of a mid level engineer as well. We are in the age where we might see a one-man billion-dollar company. I think we are seeing a massive shift in everything. We are more capable now as human beings. We can do so much more. When I code, 90% of my code is now being generated by AI. So I don't need a lot of efforts from my end, or maybe I'm more independent as a sole entrepreneur or developer, where I can achieve more things in a much, much shorter time. So we humans will have more time to even do more human things, right? So that definitely gets me a lot excited. The companies are definitely getting ready. It's a storm, and everyone is gearing up for it, I would say. Companies are using it for their advantage. There's definitely a mindset shift that's needed. I have seen people not realizing the potential of AI and still doing things manually or on their own and not using AI. Like whenever I see any developer at my organization, or maybe even a product owner or a business person doing something manual that can be used, that can be done with the help of AI. We are pushing people that stop thinking that AI is just an algorithm. AI can be creative. AI is getting good at reasoning as well. These mindset shifts are definitely happening. Remember in 2010, we had like the boom of like apps in like iOS and Android. We used to say like there's an app for that. Before that, we had like did you Google before asking? I think we should be asking like, did you ask AI before asking me? So the computational power is rising, the electricity power that it requires, it's reducing drastically. We are going to crack it and find a sweet spot that works for industries, consumers, and everyone. In my personal journey, there were very few companies that aligned with what I wanted to do. I had a mindset for research and development, and I wanted to do that a lot, creating new products or solutions that can be used. So I early on I built some like Facebook games in 2012, 2013, and also built some small businesses as well. So there was no company that was fitting into my interests, and that's when we started on the journey of Geeky Ants in around 2012, 2013. And yeah, this is what I have done all my life. I did not work for any specific company before starting Geeky Ants, so I learned on the go as well. From the consumer side, there is a lot of education for sure that we need. People don't know what AI is capable of. Just the last weekend, I was sitting with my friends and I just opened up Chat GPT, for example, and opened up the voice mode. AI is so powerful. My friends are still, they still get surprised at like smaller things that it can do, and they didn't know like it can crack jokes, or it can do voice modulation, and it can also be empathetic, for example. You don't change the culture and the mindset shift, it takes a little while. And everyone is definitely gearing up for that. There's a lot of education already happening on social media, and I feel very positive about it as well. It impacts our day-to-day life. I have some examples. Last time ChatGPT, the video feature of ChatGPT, it helped me like change the tire of my car when it went flat. I could like replace the stepney tire on my car. It helped me with, say, fixing my standing desk. It helped me fix my dishwasher. And these are like real examples that I am using every day. It's definitely going to have a lot more impact. But on the other side, like how to like guardrail things, and there could be a negative impact as well. There are things that concerns me. I see people use ChatGPT, Claude as their therapists too, although it's really nice and they have done a great job on that. But when it disconnects and people are more reliant on, say, computers or AI, that's subjective and also concerns me a little bit. That's what I think, that's the impact it'll have on a day-to-day life of consumers. I see a lot of my friends doing AI related startups here in Bangalore. So definitely India is on the radar for doing a lot of breakthroughs in the AI world. Apart from that, the global political scenario that we see, especially in the US, I think it's going to skyrocket. The current administration is pushing a lot on tech, is pushing a lot on AI. So these two markets are going to be definitely hot. Sectors or industries, I think consumer is a big one, and we are going to see a lot of impact on the consumer side this year. And obviously entertainment, Google is working on a game engine which is like by AI. So gaming, entertainment are the big ones. Healthcare, for sure, we have seen some implementation or a lot of implementation of AI in the healthcare sector. That's going to rise for sure. AWS has been the backbone, I would say. Like, I personally have had some hands on with the Bedrock API, and I feel that it's very fluent and easy to use. Especially getting those hardwares in person is very difficult, and having the cloud of AWS that has all these models that you can run at a fraction of cost, it's really nice and easy. Anthropic and Claude, they are somewhat related to AWS, and that is what I like. I'm a power user of Claude Sonnet 3.5 model API that we are using in BuilderX, which is a design and code tool that we are working on. So it's very neat. I love it overall. Definitely AWS stands apart. We have been using AWS, the other services for a long time, like the basic ones, EC2 and all those things. But Bedrock, we have started working and using it recently, and it's been a breeze using the Bedrock APIs. So I have been using the Meta glasses for almost a year now, and I feel that when the interface goes away and it gets like deeply integrated with your surrounding, I think that's what is going to happen with all these human and AI interaction. For example, the mobile phones, it's like an interface that blocks the real world. While I feel the with more of variables, with more of things like, say, maybe even Neuralink, these are the things that I'm really excited about, and technologies that's going to shape the future of human and computer interaction in general, and definitely human and AI interaction. It's going to be more integrated and invisible. The first one is don't sleep on it. Start using it as much as you can. People say it's one of the biggest things since the internet, and I totally believe in it. Try to understand what impact and what problems it can solve, and what type of AI that can be used in your sector or the problem that you are trying to solve. So, having a deep understanding is more important than just going by the buzzword. That's my advice. Tech is changing so fast that you cannot have a long term plan while relying on a specific tech. Rather, try to understand the shift and understand the impact that it can have on the consumers or the target users of the business that you're building. The biggest challenge, I think, for any company and a company like Geekians is definitely to unlearn things and the change in behavior. Like people are still using computers the way they used to do it about a couple of years back. Second, I think adopting and using it with the right education. Like if somebody comes up with a solution and a way to use the AI, I think that needs to be educated across organizations like Geeky Ants. So we are trying to do that. So yeah, I think these two things have been a challenge, and we are trying to like move fast and embrace it as much as possible. I am directly involved in a project that I'm really excited about. It's called Builder X, which is a platform for designers and developers. It brings both the people, in fact, designers, developers, product owners, or creators in one single tool where they can design and code and even deploy. And we are using AI to generate as much as possible. So you can open Builder X and say that you need an app for ABC, and it creates the whole app, including the backend. This is what we are betting now on. And I think it's also great for our consulting side, which can be used to build solutions for our customers as well. I am a lot into music, as you can see in the background. A little bit nomad, digital nomad sort of person. I recently built a fully off grid caravan, which has like everything what a house can have, right from like eating, sleeping, cooking, and washrooms. It has got everything. It's a small vehicle, and I love to drive that in and around. I've been to Goa a couple of times from Bangalore, driven that. So yeah, I think these are the few things that I love to do. I think X.com is the best platform to keep yourself up to date about whatever is happening in any field. And I think I see a lot of new things coming up on X, especially maybe the new models or the new announcements or how people are using AI. Definitely keeping up with social media. I also follow few people on Instagram as well. I think this is the source of news for me. As much as I'm excited that it's going to do a lot of things, I think the agentic side of AI is going to take over, and it's going to do a lot of things that we humans do today. But on the other side, I think we'll have definitely sales and human touch, personal touch, and network and community are going to stay. In fact, they are going to be on a rise. While the other part of it, like getting things done, part of it is definitely going to be taken over by AI in the coming years. These are bold words, so I'm not sure where it's gonna go, but yeah, let's hope for the best that we use it.